Welcome to A Touch of Grey Matters. I'm your host, Dave Sokolowski. I'm here with Barry 3D Carter and Thomas. My fucking timing sucks, Patrice. Unfortunately, Solfelli isn't here tonight because he's dealing with some fucking water issues still. He's been dealing with so many fucking water issues. He's going to be the next Aquaman. Would you like to come? Would you like to come to Atlantis with me? Look at how I swim.
He's gonna kill us. I don't care.
I have a feeling we're not going to get any viewers up in Brampton for this one.
Wow.
Oh.
Oh, I can't wait for those fucking complaints coming in, eh?
Oh.
No, that wasn't really funny. Well, no, because everybody else was laughing. Just saying. But speaking of, saying shit that ain't funny, and all of a sudden people are like, "Ooh, we should boycott them or cancel them." Do you guys believe in this cancel culture bullshit?
Oh, God. No. You know what? Honestly, every day you got to watch what you say and what you do.
Right.
Remember when you could go to a comedy club and it was about comedy and you could laugh? Now, somebody says something, I have the right to stand up in the middle of your show and say, no. No, you don't. Because you might just get your head busted. Or my personal favorite, people you don't know, yeah, I'm saying it, people you don't know come up to you and just say, you shouldn't talk that way to your kids because it might affect it.
I have water all over me now. Listen, you know what? I'm really annoyed by everybody. Like, free speech is in trouble, and because everybody's going with this cancel culture bullshit. Shut the fuck up. Like, honestly, is there cancel culture? No. It's being held accountable for what you fucking say.
Yeah.
Okay? You still have free speech. You have the right to say whatever the fuck you want. But you also have to deal with the fucking consequences of what you say.
Absolutely.
Okay? Like, seriously, you can go through the list of, and I mean, the other thing that's really starting to piss me off is that people are going back 10, 15, years or whatever and finding out what people said back then. And, well, they said this back then, so we have to cancel them now because that's not right. They shouldn't be allowed to say that back then.
But people don't understand that back then it was a different temperature. It was a different pulse.
But no, that's the thing. They don't care. They're thinking about right now. Like, what's her tits there from fucking Mandalorian that just got fucking... Yes, Gina Carano. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, what she said, or the final straw of what she said, was she was comparing Republicans to Jews before the Holocaust, where their neighbors were turning on them and everything else. Right. And a lot of people got offended by that, saying, well, you can't really, you're sitting there and you're saying that your political views are the same as somebody else's religion. And you're saying that you're being a Republican is the same as being a Jew during the Holocaust. And it's like, well, it's not technically what she's saying, but yes, I see where you're coming from and I see where she's coming from because, everybody's kind of like getting all uppity and everything else because, if you're right or left or whatever it is. But it's not just that. It's the 4 or 5 months beforehand when she was saying, she put up on, I think, one of her social media, it was, everybody was starting to do that whole him, her, he, she,
Right,
her,
yes,
whatever,
yes.
or he,
Pronouns, yeah.
Yeah, the pronouns. And I'm going to be honest with you. Maybe it's the gray. Maybe it's the fact that I don't fucking care. Maybe it's, a ton of things right now. But I don't even know what the fuck that is. Somebody the other day was like, well, of course you're not going to know what it is. You're a cis white male. And I'm like, yes, I am. What the fuck is a cis white male?
Cis white male.
I don't fucking know. Hold on. I did have it up here because I wanted to bring it up because
the whole cancel. You've nailed it right on the head, right? That if you say something, you got to be responsible. Sorry, go ahead.
Cis meaning denoting or relating to a molecular structure in which two particular atoms or groups lie in the same side of a given plane in the molecule, in particular, denoting an isomer in which substitute and opposite. The fuck does that have to do with anything?
Okay, hold the fuck up. When did you become part of a molecular? What the fuck are they talking about?
Oh, wait a minute.
Side of a what?
So apparently, when you put in cis meaning, it actually gives you the whole scientific thing. If you want to figure out what the fuck people are talking about, you have to put in cisgender. Because apparently that's fucking different. Because,
Okay, Barry, you know what you are? Barry, you're a taco because you like eating tacos. And you, Dave, you're a cigarette. And I'll be asshole. Shut up. None of you say nothing about asshole. No.
Oh, so cisgender is denoting or relating to a person whose sense of personal identity and gender corresponds with their birth sex.
Okay.
Why can't I just be a guy? No, we've always got to give everything a name. I get it because you want to identify it, but this is overkill.
Well, but I mean, but that's where it's coming from. So now, because she made fun of the whole pronoun thing and whatnot, and and referring to the Jews being Republicans or the Republicans being Jews, and that she's been apparently fired from The Mandalorian, which technically she wasn't actually fired because she didn't have a contract with them, because at the end of last season they weren't planning on having her back for a number of episodes anyways, so she technically wasn't under contract to them, but now they're just like, well, now she's not coming back. But everybody's like, ooh, she's been fired, and it's like, well, has she? Because now she's going to do. But it's just the whole thing of like everybody's like, oh, you can't do that because now all of a sudden, it's the whole cancel culture and you're against free speech and everything. And like, fuck off. Like, just.
No, you hit it on the head that you have to be, exactly, responsible. Absolutely. You have to be responsible for what you say. So yes, you have the free speech to say whatever you want to say. But when you are representing a company in any form, you have to still conform to that image. So any job that you have, if you turn around and you start rambling whatever, you can have it, but you have to understand there's going to be actions, there's going to be repercussions about it. It's going to come back, haunt you. And I
guaranteed. I mean, like, yeah. We're under the same. I mean, like, we don't work for the same company. We don't have a production company, or I guess we do have a production company, but we make up the fucking rules as we go along. So,
right.
Really, what we say is just kind of like, maybe we shouldn't have, right? But if you're working for Disney,
Yep.
and it's Disney, hi kids, you're not going to see Mickey running around the park with a bloody baseball bat going, Minnie, fuck that N-word, because you can pretty much guarantee that that's the last day on the job for Sparky there, right?
Absolutely. Because but they have that in their clause and contract, and a lot of stars, and I mean, you can see to it, depending on how big you are, who you're representing, there is a whole thing because they have to protect the brand.
Yeah.
I you can be different to me. I believe if you're an actor, I mean, if I got on something like that, and even if I had out there views, I would wait till my time was done with that particular project to make sure I got my money and move on. Depending on what my views are, and I understand you have to censor yourself, but it's you're out there politically, or not politically, you're out there publicly. You kind of open yourself up to a lot. I know I see a lot of stars saying, "Oh well, I'm an actor, but now all these people are kind of in my life and want to know everything I'm doing, and I don't like it." But you realize that is part of the job.
But hang on, back in the day, when guys like Bogart, when women like Bacall were contracted to a Hollywood studio, there was a shut the fuck up clause. Okay? You couldn't go out there and just say what you felt. Like you said, they're working for the certain company, they got to toe that company line. Right? Now, from that came Bogart's FU money, fuck you money. So he could, he could get paid enough so he could turn down certain contracts. He didn't want to do certain things. But again, if you're working for Disney, like Dave said, hi ho, kids, you're working for Disney. You have to remember that if, like you said, if you have an out there view, hey kid, follow the bouncing ball. Shut the fuck up, because we're paying you. Toe the company line, because you're getting paid. Shut your pie hole, please. I'm not blaming Gina Carano for what she said. As a matter of fact, I didn't even know what she said. I know she was getting in trouble for things, but I didn't know what she was saying.
Oh, yeah, it was that. It was the anti-masking thing, but yeah, go on, right.
But here's my
that
thing.
was the other one, too, the whole anti-masking thing. I forgot about that part, yes.
Really quickly, here's my whole thing. If you know you're working for an entity that's paying your bills at the time, and they're saying, you don't want to wear a mask, shut the fuck up. Then guess what? I'm getting shut the fuck up money. I'm going to shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
We'll see. But I think that's what everybody wants to do is they want to make that fuck you money where they can sit there and go, you know what, fuck you, I don't care. I'm not gonna be stressed over my next paycheck, where it's coming from and whatnot, and I get that too. But again, it's one of those things where you may want to say a lot, and you are allowed to say a lot. And I will sit here, or I will sit there, I will be anywhere, and I will defend anybody's right to say what they want.
Absolutely. Okay.
But if you want to be brave enough and say whatever the fuck you want, perfect. Then you better sit there and be brave enough to take the fucking punishment that comes with it.
Yes. Absolutely.
So this whole cancel culture, the left are snowflakes and the rights are wingnuts and everything else. You know what? Yeah, but there's a lot of wingnuts on both sides. There's a lot of snowflakes on both sides, and they're all getting fucking butthurt, and they're all arguing the same thing. Oh, you're trying to censor me, and you're trying to censor me, and you don't like it when I talk, and you don't like it when I talk. The main thing is, you know what? Everybody is just that. They're talking, and unfortunately, they're not actually listening to each other. It's just, I don't like your views, and you should listen to mine. And that's all it is.
Yeah, because everybody has the right to have their own opinion. And what people are forgetting is that you don't control other people. You don't. You can't. A lot of people like to get on the internet right? And they like to bombard people with their opinion. You know what I think, and because that's their forum. Right, you got that. But people are forgetting that in a public forum, everybody has the right to speak. But I'm going to say it again. Shut the fuck up when you're working for us, because we don't want you skewing your views. Right?
But here's the other thing, too. Mm-hmm. So if you're brave on the internet and you're going to be like, no, you're totally fucking wrong, and this is why, and blah, 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 blah. Before you do that, before you become that fucking keyboard warrior and you're so fucking tough and everything else, think to yourself, if I say this to another human being who's standing within arm's length of me,
yes,
they're going to punch me in the face for it, am I willing to take that shot in the face?
And I would say 99% of them are not. That's why they sit there behind anonymous, protected accounts with fake names, and they go off on those rants and raves. If they really believed in what they thought, they would get out there with their real names or real faces and put it out there so it can be a real discussion. But you can't have a real discussion with someone you don't even know. I had someone like that came up to me a couple of months ago about a situation, and they started going on about me about a situation. I'm like, you know what? I don't know you. I don't have to bother with you. And block. And let me tell you, I didn't get into no back and forth stuff. They wrote their thing, and I'm like, okay, thanks, bye. And that's exactly what I said. Thanks, bye. They kept on writing. I'm like, and it was on Facebook, and I went, block. This person, I know you from back in the day. So I don't know you because your profile picture is a shoe, and I don't recognize the name. So fine, fuck you. Block. And let me tell you, this is the first time I've thought about it since then. The whole cancel culture, as you put it, you can say whatever you want to say. Freedom of speech. But, and this is where it comes in, if you are working for a company, you have to understand where they lie and what is to say and not to say. And if you want to be free to do it, but understand there's to be a reaction to that, good or bad. So you better make sure that the company is behind you before you start putting out some things. If you go out there and say, hey, I want to do something to help the first liners, the first responders, right? And the company goes, hey, we can get behind that. We're fine with behind that. Okay, then work with them. But if you're going to be an anti-masker and you're working with a company that's enforcing the rules of people wearing masks, and you're like, well, I have my view. I'm not going to wear it. I'm going to go out there and say whatever I want to say because you guys are wrong. Yeah, well, we sign your paycheck. And just like you're an actor, there's a bunch of other actors out there that will dying to take this chance and will be in the lane for the time they're under the contract with the company. So say what you want to say on your own. And this whole cancel culture of, okay, I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff going back of firing her, not firing her. She can say what she wants to say. She's free to say what she wants to say, but she wasn't prepared to take it. And another part is a lot of the actors and actresses do this so-called speak their mind I find are more they're not your A-list actors. You don't see your A-list actors carrying on with this. If they have their views, their publicist is going to look at them, as Thomas was saying, and say, shut the fuck up. Not now, we have this coming up. Not now, we have this coming up, right? No, give me your account. I'm going to do your Twitter. I respond to your Twitter. I respond to your Instagram. You just look pretty, go to the gym, eat vegan, and fucking get in front of that movie and do what you got to do. No, but I'm saying, like, you don't see Brad Pitt getting into shit like this. You know what I mean?
So,
yeah.
Here's another way to look at it too. Do you think Trump is part of the victim?
No.
Of cancel culture.
Is he a victim? Absolutely not. He's not a victim. He's gotten away with it. A victim is someone that had to pay the price. Name one time he's paid a price for what he's said and done.
Well, he's not allowed on any of the social medias anymore because of what he was saying.
He didn't lose followers.
Hang on a second. That's not paying a price. That's them finally having the balls to say, okay, the people he's bringing to us is not worth the shit we're going to have to deal with later on.
Look, just because he's not on there, his followers are still on there. And they are now gotten his message, well received, and they're still spreading it. They're still out there. They still believe in him. He hasn't been impeached. So I doubt he'll ever do any jail time. So what was the whole thing about? Right? I mean, we know, to me, And people don't have to agree. He was wrong. He was absolutely 100% wrong on so many levels. But he'll never pay for it. It was like the beginning of his career when he started running for presidency. He made that comment about grabbing by the pussy. And Billy Bush, all Billy Bush said was, "Oh, Donald, you dog." Right away, Nancy O'Dell turned around and said, "Well, Billy Bush didn't stand up for me, so you know what? I'm not bothering him anymore." And she kind of shafted him in the office. And then he lost his job on Access Hollywood. And he had 2 shows. He had the one in the evening and one during lunch. So he lost that. He lost the radio show. His wife divorced him. He was not making any money. And then he had to do a whole thing about, "Well, I'm sorry. I should have known better." And my point is, why did Billy Bush have to apologize when Billy Bush didn't say nothing? Right? He lost all that. So he lost his marriage, jobs, potential income, went into depression, and only started to get back. I mean, he's not as big as he was before. He's on Access Hollywood now, and I'm happy he's back, but he's suffered. He suffered cancel culture for something that was not said by him. All he said was, "Donald, you dog, I can't believe you. Oh, Billy, this is what you got to do. You have to do it this way. You got to grab him by the pussy. You got to take control." And the man still... Bush got president. Bush has got a horseshoe up his ass where he's the center of the shitstorm. Nothing sticks to the center. Everybody else around him suffers.
Yeah. But again, I mean, like, my thing is, because again, it is a matter of free speech, and I do think that he is definitely allowed to say what he wants.
I'll agree with you on that one. Absolutely.
And now the fact that, you know, I mean, like, he essentially got canceled because they voted his ass out, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But the fact that, you know, it's more so down in the States. Like, down in the States, they're like, well, you can technically say whatever you want. And he's fucking proof of it.
Yep.
You know, you can say what you want. And, you know, and as we spoke about in a couple of the other, you know, episodes in that, there's different rules for different pay grades.
Absolutely. I mean, look, the only thing that he's lost right now to now is he's lost a second term as a president, and he lost his helicopter pad at Mar-a-Lago or Key Largo, wherever he's down there. That's the only thing that's the only thing he's lost. He hasn't paid no fines. He hasn't even paid his lawyers before. I'm not sure about these ones now that for his impeachment, but his Giuliani hasn't gotten paid. Other lawyers haven't gotten paid. So pretty much he hasn't lost any money. He made money. So listen. You know, but I'm saying, what did he lose? What you know, everyone else got canceled around him, but him. And this brings me back to my point.
He's ultimate quarterback because he's pulling so many people in front of him.
Save me. But it comes down to...
No, Dave, what you said is right. Barry, what you said is right. Cancel culture, though, is a cancer unto itself. And cancel culture has been around and been called different names. Okay? You know what we got to do? We got to root out all those actors in the Hollywood in the 1960s that are Marxist. That's right. They're communists. They're communists.
Okay, yeah, all right.
What we got to do in the 70s? No, we got to do in the 70s. We got to wear our jeans a little bit flowy, and we got to say anybody who wears tight pants. Well, they're anti-establishment. Yeah, that's right, anti-establishment.
Get a haircut, hippie.
No, you know what we got to do in the 80s? We got to grow our hair back like in the 70s and 60s. But you know what we got to do? We got to have certain hairstyles because if you're not, you're square. Square. People make up things to put themselves above other people, and that's the basis of cancel culture. Sorry, but it's true. People make things more than
I'm not saying you're wrong there. I just think there was a bit of a fucking leap from.
No, but I see his point. But
you know what? There's a bit of a fucking leap with a lot of people talking about stupid shit. You see remember the Flintstones there? They can't be in the same bed. I mean, they're married, but you got to keep them. They're fucking cartoons. You know what I was thinking when I was a kid watching the Flintstones? I wonder what Barney Rubble's going to do to Fred today. I wasn't thinking about fucking Fred and his wife being in the same bed. It was people who were afraid of the obvious. Because when I was a child, I came home and watched my mom and dad sleep in the same bed. I didn't think of it. That was the cancel culture of then. This is the cancel culture.
I was more confused as to why the fuck she was sweeping a dirt floor.
It's true. It's true. Like, you know what I mean?
No, but cancel culture is it's its own. You put it's its own cancer.
Everybody has the freedom of speech. Everybody. You can say what your heart desires. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When you're not working for somebody who gives you money. If you have all the money you need, by all means, blab it out. But the people that are around these other people, and you're right, different pay grades have different rights. The people that are around the people that blurt out that stuff, they're the ones who get canceled. It's always the asshole in the middle of the shitstorm, like Barry said, that nothing ever touches. Nothing ever touches. Right? And what happens after the storm dissipates? Well, we all go back to rebuilding. Let's take the boards off the buildings. Let's rebuild. Let's rebuild this trailer park. Because it's going to be here again when that shitstorm starts up.
Do you remember it was sometime last year during whatever fucking lockdown it was? There was that whole somebody was upset at being called Karen.
Yes. Yeah, the whole Karen movement, right? Yeah.
He equated it to the N-word.
Yeah. And that was, she's like, you know, calling me Karen is the exact same as using the N-word. And it's like, I'm sitting there and I'm like,
I don't have N-word on my birth certificate.
I can pretty much guarantee you it's not. Because if I go out on my balcony and yell out Karen at 9 o'clock at night, nobody's going to say shit. I go out and say the other one, we're going to have a fucking problem.
Yeah, absolutely. But and that's the whole, the cancel culture came in. Anyway, yeah. All I'm saying. Yeah.
I honestly think that it was the Karens that started this whole thing.
Yeah, because they wanted to have their own way, and as Thomas put it, they wanted to kind of get, when they band together, they're stronger together than stronger united than apart.
The whole thing about cancel culture, the whole thing about the nonsense that we're putting up with now, okay, is that everybody, okay, people always build up a fear around something that they hate or don't understand, and right now is a time of hate because a lot of people can't understand the stupidity of it all. Listen, no, Karen is not the same as the N-word. Okay, Gina Carano said some things. I didn't hear what she said. I'm now finding out what she said. But you know what? She said them. She's responsible. Oh, and last but not least, if you're stupid enough to try to compare apples to oranges, you should get them thrown at you. Okay? Because it's not the same. All right.
Look, there's only one culture I'm down with, and I'll say it like this: Culture Club.
I'll tumble for you. I'll tumble for you. I'll tumble. I will. Sorry, I had the album. But I'll tumble for you. I'll tumble for you. Come on, Dave.
You might think Dave's screen is frozen, but it's not. This is the look we get sometimes.
I'm like, you guys know that I do this to you fucking live, to be honest with you. We could be sitting in the same room. I'm still going to look at you the same fucking way.
Oh, man, I miss you, Dave. Yep.
But yeah, man.
Because to be honest with you, after last week's conversation of Thomas having fucking Jerry curls, now I'm just picturing with the Boy George dreads.
No. Back then I had my Billy D. Williams Colt 45. You know, I'm Billy D. My hair is wavy, even though it's not mine. Sorry, Star Wars? Yeah, Star Wars movie. Billy D. Williams Colt 45.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of cancel culture, no. There's something I want to mention. Do you guys remember In Living Color?
Or some bitch. Yeah.
Yeah, the cult of personality, isn't that what you were talking about earlier?
No. Keenan Ivory Wayans.
Oh, that is Living Color. Sorry.
Yeah. not the rock band made up of all black guys. That would have scared Donald Trump. What are they doing? Are they mocking us? Anyways, so basically, Keenan Ivory Wayans had this whole skit where Colt 45, right? The beer, the girl he gets drinks a whole bunch of beer, gets drunk, and he does his thing. In the commercials of Colt 45, Billy Williams was always comparing Colt 45. It's better than champagne. Colt 45. It's better than whatever. And it would always be this sort of like, to be the man, you got to drink Colt 45. Nowadays, going to put up that finger. Anyway. So, cancel culture. Number one, the commercials were going great. They were going wonderful until somebody said, man, all black people don't want to drink beer. Cancel culture. Because it just rippled through all those commercials. I saw them literally for maybe a year, maybe two, then gone. You wouldn't even find them. But also during that time, Keenan Ivory Wayans did a skit where he was Billy Williams drinking a whole bunch of Colt 45s, but he kept giving the girl more Colt 45. And he says, all you need is Colt 45 to have a slippery time. Cancel culture, because it would not let him air that. But that episode did air. And In Living Color, after that, got canceled.
Really? That's the reason why? No, shoot.
No, I thought it was because they weren't funny anymore.
The whole cancel culture thing, I said we can go around this all the time, but I'm still with, if you get hired with a company, and it's have show business, not show business. Understand their views. Understand you have freedom of speech, but you got to look to see what that company how they might react to that. So if they don't have your back, be careful, right? And it's not about freedom of speech. It's just you have to have responsibility when you were working for someone else. They don't want to have that heat brought on them. If you're gonna have a difference of opinion, you better work for someone that has your back. Like Gina now, she's no longer the Mandalorian, but she came out after doing a movie with a right-wing studio that's gonna support her and another actor to bring out some project she wants now. So she's like, okay, I'm fine. So now she can say whatever she wants to say. She probably just needs a new manager because they trumped her also.
Yeah, but I mean, like, even still, see, and that's the thing. It's everybody's focusing on this one last thing that she did.
But it's been building up.
It's been a number of things.
Yeah.
But to everybody's point, like the right wing is saying, oh, you're just getting rid of her because of this.
It's not because of that. It's a straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's the last one. But for me, it's just, again, very simple. We've discussed this already ad nauseum and said, everybody agrees you have free speech. You can say.
Not everybody agrees. Remember Bill Cosby? You can't say fuck and make it funny.
Yeah, well, look how that ended for him.
Now, Bill, you're blind in one eye, and now your roommate, your government roommate, is saying, "Hey, Bill, tell me a joke. Make it funny.
Yeah,
tell me about Jello pudding."
As I said,
his government roommate is telling him to suck him his pudding pop.
Uh-huh.
No, but you can literally say what you want. Okay.
Yeah. But there's a price to pay, man. There's a price to pay.
But again,
good or bad,
it comes back to, you know what? And especially like for the internet, and if there's any keyboard warriors watching this, if you've lasted this long and you're not writing like an angry email to YouTube or something saying, I can't believe you're letting these fucking people do this. And like, oh my God, they're so racist and everything else. And oh my God.
You had the two black guys badgering the one white guy. Things he didn't want to say. Oh yeah, I saw it.
Put on the foil cap.
I kept pressing the cues.
But the best part is they said the N-word, and like literally because we kept saying the N-word, like nobody's actually said the fucking word, you know.
They said Karen.
If you're not going to say it face to face within arm's length,
Yep.
don't fucking say it on the keyboard either. Like that's just fucking, you know, if you're willing to do the free speech thing, be willing to get punched in the face for it. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely.
And on that note,
what Dave is politely saying is have a big cup and shut the fuck up.
I'm Dave Sokoleski with Barry Carter.
Woo!
Thomas. There are a lot of good people in this world, regardless of what you may have fucking heard. But there are a lot of good people in this world, and if you can't find one, be one. Have a good night.